Markets are closed for the weekend, so grab a treat and let's talk about the machines. This week, two of the biggest names in tech went to war in a courtroom. Apple just sued the maker of ChatGPT. Then, a company famous for chatbots taught a robot to find its way with a single cheap camera. And over in China, one factory is cranking out robot hands by the thousands because hands, it turns out, are the hardest part. I'm Snowball. Let's go! First, a look back. Since Wall Street was shut all weekend, Friday looked sleepy, the S&P 500 rose less than 0.5%, and the fear gauge hit its lowest of the week. But the calm hit a brawl. Two giants, Meta and Nvidia, did nearly all the lifting, Meta up 6%, Nvidia 4%. Take them out, and most of the market was red. The worst pain hit software and cybersecurity stocks, down 5 to 7%, part cashing in after a hot run, part a fear that artificial intelligence will eat their business. Hold on to that fear, because every story today is about artificial intelligence breaking out of the screen. Story 1, and it's a heavyweight fight. Apple, yes, the iPhone company, just sued OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT, claiming it stole Apple's secrets to build its own gadgets. Apple says more than 400 of its former employees now work at OpenAI, and that some were told to bring actual Apple parts to job interviews for show and tell. OpenAI says it has no interest in anyone's secrets. Here's why it matters. OpenAI doesn't just want to live in your phone, it wants to build the device that replaces it. When the maker of the iPhone sues the maker of ChatGPT over hardware, the fight for what comes after the smartphone has officially begun. Story 2. A chatbot company just gave robots a sense of direction. Mistral, the French artificial intelligence lab, released a model called Robostral Navigate. It does something wild. It lets a robot find its way through the real world using a single ordinary camera. No lasers, no depth sensors, just one cheap eye and a plain instruction like, go to the kitchen. And it beat the fancy systems that use lasers and multiple cameras. Why does a small dog care? Sensors are a huge chunk of what makes a robot expensive. If a robot can navigate with a cheap camera instead of a pricey sensor stack, robots get a lot cheaper and a lot more common. And story 3, my favorite, because it's about the hardest part of any robot. Not the brain, not the legs, the hands. Teaching a robot to pick up a mug or fold a shirt is brutally hard. Elon Musk says the hands are most of the engineering challenge of the whole robot. One Chinese company, LinkerBot, is going all in. Its founder says a robot hand is 100 times harder than the rest of the robot. They're already making about 5,000 hands a month, and they want to double it, chasing a $6 billion valuation. China's treating this like a national mission, using its car factory supply chains. Because a robot that can walk but can't grab a cup isn't a worker. Hands are where robots finally get useful. So who's on Snowball's board today? Apple and OpenAI, now fighting over the gadget that comes after the phone. Nvidia, the chip maker every robot brain runs on. Meta and Alphabet, the giants carrying the market and racing in artificial intelligence. Amazon, the quiet robot kingmaker. And Tesla, whose Optimus robot lives or dies on solving those tricky hands. The full 12-name list is in today's written briefing. Here's Snowball's takeaway. This weekend, one theme tied it together. Artificial intelligence is climbing out of the chat box and into the real world. It's why Apple and OpenAI are fighting over hardware, why a chatbot lab is steering robots with one camera, and why China is racing to build the perfect robot hand. The screen was just the beginning. The machines want a body now. If you like your tech news explained by a small dog who reads the filings, hit subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. This is for fun and information only, not financial advice. Now go on, chase something!